baseball.
We welcome you to Natstown. Sun setting on this series. Third game, the Cubs are going for the sweep. That little guy wants 3 in a row. The guy on the right, he wants a salvage operation by our Nationals here tonight. Bob Carpenter, Ray Knight in for Rob Dibble. Good to have you upstairs here, buddy. Let's talk about the bullpen because they were so good last night, and it was something like 4 out of 414 innings they pitched this year.
They have been unreal, Bob. The strength of this ball club from the get-go, a couple little glitches with each of the guys in the bullpen, but this man has, in my opinion, been the MVP of the bullpen. He's been able to actually start a game. He's been a closer. He's been middle. He's been long and done a great job. Slayton has come in and now becomes that second left-hander that can get left-handed hitters out with that sharp breaking ball. Peralta's a guy that's been a real surprise for me. Shows a different angle right over the top, but he throws that split finger, the changeup, the big curveball. How about Sean Burnett? He's come up and been able to get all these left-handers out lately. Right-handers have not been a problem for him. Has moved into that semi-closer's role along with Drew Storn. Tyler Clifford, the guy that misses more bats than anybody we have on our staff, the great fastball, the changeup, and the slider, and then Drew Storn, lowest earned run average on the team, moved right into that closer's role, kind of unreal in a year and a little bit in the minor leagues to get to that spot in the bullpen.
Speaking of low ERAs, the bullpen 3.52, and opponents hitting only 245 against the Nats pen this year. Now, tonight's starters going in different directions, really. Jason Marquis, 0-6, trying to bring down that ERA. He's a former Cub. And Ryan Dempster, 7-1 career against the Nats.
Yeah, Ryan Dempster, I knew him in Cincinnati the 2 years that I was there. Comes right at you, boy. A great little fastball. Used to throw 96. Now he's down to 91, 92. 3 different pitches, 2 different breaking balls. He is a guy that's not going to give in. You saw Roy Halladay and Oswald. He's very similar. Not quite the juice that they have anymore, but he flat out knows how to pitch.
He will give up home runs on occasion. April 28th. How about this? First inning, Adam Kennedy, his first of the year. And then in the 4th inning, a guy who wears number 44, Adam Dunn, would hit his 4th of the year. The Nats would go on to win that game 3-2 and win that series in Chicago, but trying to salvage one here tonight. TNT, rethink possible. And by Acura. Acura Advance. Crowd gathering for the finale of the 3-game series. And the Nats taking the field, trying to win their 54th game of the year. So are the Chicago Cubs. They've won 25 road games on the year, and Starlin Castro, the 20-year-old shortstop, 3 for 10 in this series. The youngster hitting .315, 37 RBIs, and over his 3-game hitting streak, 6 hits in his last 12 at-bats. It looks like the Cubs are onto something with that young middle infielder. Jason Marquis, a former Cub. In 2 years in Chicago, 07-08, he was 23-18. 15-13 in Colorado last year and struggling as a Nat. But Ray Knight coming off his best outing so far with 5 solid innings at Philadelphia.
Keys to Marquis achieving success: sink or fly. His sinker has to be down or he's going to have a lot of fly balls, and when that happens, not very good. Left turn, that's what his slider does when it's on. Very short, very crisp, outside part of the plate. Stretch out. My goodness, he's only been able to go 5 innings. He threw 100 pitches, but that's not going to get it. It needs to be in that 15 pitches per inning range, and maybe we get him into the 6th or 7th inning.
Defensively, the Nationals, Roger Bernardina, Niger Morgan, and there's some news about Niger. And Michael Morse, left, center, and right. Desmond and Kennedy up the middle. Zimmerman done the corners, and Will Nieves, 6 for his last 13 with the bat, getting the start tonight. Visit train.com to find a dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. And our game time weather, mostly cloudy. Pretty good looking skies right now, though. 49% humidity, 81 at the ballpark tonight. 22-year veteran Bob Davidson umpires home plate. Alfonso Marquez, Tim Timmons, and the crew chief Tim Cheetah have the bases. Kosuke Fukudome, in a reserve role, has 3 hits and an RBI in this series. He'll lead off against his former teammate Jason Marquis. How key is this start for Jason tonight? We'll find out. The Nats need him to produce and give them something back on that big investment. First pitch at 7:07. Fukudome overall hitting at .271 with a .374 on base percentage, and he has a 5-game hitting streak. Target away from Will. There have been 2 National League games out west today, and that will surprise you. I'll tell you about those in a moment. One involving the Braves. That's a changeup by Marquis. He goes straight change, 84 or so, and gets it to the outside corner.
Great movement, great location. I hope he stays right there. That kind of movement and locating the ball down in that part of the strike zone. He'll have a good night if he can keep that up, Bob.
Target in now. Fukudome close to a swing. Third base umpire Cheetah just shakes his head.
Fukudome close. You know, I heard Bobby Valentine, he said that there was nothing in the rule book to really definitively tell you where that check swing is. I talked to the umpires when I was managing several of them. They said that they tried to measure straight up from the front of home plate, plane straight up, almost crossing the plane like in the end zone. And so that's what I've always gone by. If you use that, he swung.
3-2 pitch. On a fly ball left side. Drifting out of play. And I've had some umpires tell me that if the barrel of the bat points straight at them where they're umpiring down the line, they consider that far enough.
Which is essentially the same thing. That's actually a tad farther out front. But that way they know for sure that they can bang him.
Another one slapped out of play. Nationals have lost 12 of their last 16. Trying to avoid a sweep at the hands of the Cubs after the Marlins did just that 2 weeks ago here in the first half of the homestand. Marquis misses. Leadoff walk. Game notes coming your way. Marquis, 12th career starts against the Cubs. He's made 13 career appearances and a 4-6 record. How about that? Jim Riggleman, first Cub manager to win 2 in a row at the start of his tenure, and even Dusty Baker couldn't do that, and a host of others. And then Dempster and Zambrano, good hitting pitchers who can do some damage, and the Nats see those guys back-to-back in this series. Here's Starlin Castro.
Bob, let's set this thing up. I mean, this is the way it is. As a manager, you're sitting over there, and all you want to see is this kid throw strikes. You don't want him to go deep into the count, because every time that he's done that, he goes to 18, 19, 20 pitches. So here you go, first hitter, 3-2, 2 foul balls. I mean, and he has 9 pitches, and he's not gotten anybody out yet. And you want to go no more than 14, 15 pitches to get to retire the inning. So he's struggling already. I mean, when you look at a manager, at the manager's viewpoint, he sees him struggling already, and it's a matter of getting rhythm, and hopefully he's going to get his rhythm, but this is what we've seen all year long with him, and he's always been a guy that could throw strikes anytime he wanted to in the past.
2-0 count here. Castro with a pitch on his hands, might have been ball 3.
It was ball 3, and it was way too high. I mean, he's trying to drive that ball right to the bottom part of the strike zone there. You see, Bob, first inning struggles.
Yeah, and that's been not exclusive to Marquis on this staff.
No.
And, of course, most notably the game when he got knocked out early in the year when he didn't retire a batter. That's what killed his ERA. It's a running count for the Cubs, 2-1. And the runner was holding. The high strike call by Bob Davidson helps, 2-2.
Yeah, but when he's there, and I don't want to start this thing off negatively, but when you start and you're a single ball pitcher, you have to be right at the bottom of that square all the time, from there down to the ground. And we have talked about that quite a lot, but of all the pitchers that we have, he and Lannon.
And there's a balk called by balking Bob Davidson. Marquis wants to know what he did, and Bob Davidson, who has called more balks than any other umpire in Major League Baseball, rings up Marquis in the first inning, and he's not happy about it. Marquis is reenacting his stretch, and now Jim Riggleman wants to know what's going on.
He can't stop. He can't stop. He started on the right knee.
A little bend to the knee there, didn't he?
Absolutely. Started on the right knee. It has to be a continuation. You can't stop. If you do, they call it deception of the runner, but it's definitely a ball.
Well, Marquis talking about it with Tim Timmons, the second base umpire.
Well, there's no question about it. I mean, it was clear. That's clear. A lot of times it's not. But that Bob Davidson, he's a hawk, man. He's got eagle eyes. But he sees it correctly. I mean, so many of these things I'm saying. But just check his right knee as he settles up. Now he starts his right knee. He brings his arm up. Now watch his right knee. See right there? And he stops. That's started. That's a start. You cannot do that. You get your foot on the rubber. It is in a solid position, and then you start, and you cannot change that.
2-2.
Well, I know the feeling that Jason has. I mean, I've had it as a hitter. You're not comfortable until you have success. Even if you've had a lot of success, after you've struggled, you go out there and you're not sure of yourself. You don't pitch confidently. You're a little tight. You force things early. So some good things need to happen for him early.
How about a strikeout on a pitch up and in? That'll help with a runner down there at second. So the shortstop doesn't advance Fukudome, and Marlon Byrd will be next for the Cubs. Back in the lineup after being hitched by a Livan Hernandez pitch 2 nights ago.
Well, another high strike, and, he's getting by with it. That ball's on the inside part of the plate, and, I'm going to reemphasize, as a pitcher, you know what your best stuff is, and I know that in his mind, he feels very lucky to get by with that pitch because he does not want to be in that part of the strike zone.
Marlon Byrd 0 for 1 before hit by Livan on Monday night, hitting .306 for the Cubs. Marquis jams it. Tricky little hopper down to Zimmerman. He launches a throw, and the runner is safe. Ryan Zimmerman's throwing. Sidearm sailor again, and that should be an error on him, his 13th of the year. A very makeable play with plenty of time.
Yeah, he gets jammed. Doesn't hit that ball hard at all. It bobs us a little bit, but Ryan has a tough time making those throws. And I hope that eventually he gets that ball on top. But I don't think he's comfortable throwing the ball over the top. He's more comfortable with the ball down. But anytime he takes that crow hop, he has a tendency to throw the ball wild. Anytime he gets rid of the ball quickly, it's right on the money.
Runners at first and second, one out. And Aramis Ramirez will launch one to left. Going back, Bernardina. He's at the edge of the track to grab it. That's a huge out for Marquis and the Nats. And Micah Hoffpower, the first baseman, will step in with 2 down. And Marquis still wants to know from Bob Davidson what he did. I think when Jason sees the replay later on, Ray, and I'm sure he'll take a look at it, he will agree that he balked.
You know what I think he's thinking? He was trying to get comfortable on the rubber. You saw him make a little move early, but he never came set. And then he threw his arm out, brought it back, and then he made another little adjustment. I think in his mind, he thought he was just trying to get comfortable on the mound. Bob Davidson thought that he was already into his set position with that right leg set. And once that thing gets set, there's no movement without delivery home.
Micah Hoffpower, first baseman tonight. Xavier Nady the night off. Hoffpower only 5 games on the year, 4 strikeouts. He's 0 for 8.
Well, we're going to get a balk from a little different angle. Look at the balk from a little different angle. There he is. He's set. And then he moves his arm. His right knee is solid. It's already solid. But then he moves it again and stops. He knew it. You could see it in his mind. He knew it. Now, if he makes that move and steps off simultaneously, it's not a balk. But as long as you're in contact with the rubber, you got to call it.
And a 2-0 pitch fly to center. Here comes Niger Morgan. He grabs it, and the Nationals are out of the inning. A long one for Marquis, but a 0 on the board. Hitting 14th in runs and 10th in home runs. Niger Morgan is in the lineup tonight despite being suspended today by Major League Baseball. More on that in a moment. Ian Desmond back in the lineup, 2 nights off with a sore thumb. 5th best in the big leagues, hitting .370 during the dog days of August. Ryan Dempster, one of the most unique deliveries in baseball because of the way he cocks his glove during his delivery. 98 and 98 career record, making his 253rd start. And Morgan, not sure what Niger thought he could do with that fastball way upstairs, and the count's 0-2. Nationals leadoff man 1 for 9 in this series and 7 for 27 since coming off the DL 6 games ago. But evidently, during the 9th inning Saturday in Philadelphia, Niger threw a ball intentionally, they say, into the stands at Citizens Bank Park. The thrown ball struck a fan in the crowd, and Bob Watson has suspended him for 7 games. Watson, the vice president of on-field operations for Major League Baseball. Niger has appealed that. The suspension came down today, and he appeals, and that's why he's still in the lineup tonight.
Holy moly, Bobby. That is unreal. There's balls that are thrown in the stands every day. Now, there's a big posted memo in the clubhouse that talks about not throwing balls in the stands, but it's gotten to be something that's not enforced. Obviously, for 7 days, somebody saw him do something. I mean, if you just flip that thing in the stands, I can't imagine that it would be a suspension. But, you know, you have to protect the fans. I can't imagine Morgan just gunning one up there.
Well, the odd thing is, and we don't have any recollection of that happening. It happened, according to the press release, in the middle of the 9th inning, which means Niger would have been running out to center field to play in the outfield for the bottom of the 9th. Not like he caught the 3rd out and then threw the ball in the seats. A very generous 2-0 call by Bob Davidson, and the count's 2-1 to Desmond. Well, 276.
You know how outfielders throw between innings to get loose? I initially thought that maybe one got away from him while he was throwing, you know, to another outfielder, and it could have happened that way. But
and maybe that's why the press release said intentionally throwing a baseball into the stands. That's the way it reads. Desmond loves a 3-1 count. Goes the other way, and he'll fly it out of play. Ryan Zimmerman put a good swing on the ball that ended the game last night. Not quite enough to get it over the reach of Fukudome in right field. Nats came very close to tying or winning that game last night. 3-2, it almost hit him. And Desmond's aboard with 1 out. Here's Ray with our PNC scouting report on Ryan Dempster.
Yeah, PNC Bank scouting report for the Cheever and us all. Ryan Dempster, he gets better with age, boy. Over the last 3 years since his return as a reliever, he's 5th in the league in wins, 6th in innings pitched, 5th in strikeouts, batting average against 5th, and 6th in earned run average. Wiggle and jiggle. Bob mentioned that glove. He does that just to get the ball out of the glove so that he doesn't think about it so much. More like a bow and arrow. He had problems with doing that. And in control, great command. He walked that guy, but he throws the ball to the part of the plate that he wants to generally.
Blake DeWitt with a remarkable double play. He took a hit away from Zimmerman, gave it to Castro. One of the best 4.63s you will see all year long. Scoreless after 1 in Washington. this year. Ryan Zimmerman looked like he had a base hit, and Blake DeWitt turned it beautifully.
Oh, that was a great play. That ball had tremendous overspin. DeWitt dives to his right, comes up, underhands the ball, which I like a lot. Underhands the ball right there. Shortstop comes across pretty hard, getting out of the way there of a hard oncoming Desmond.
And a good stretch by Micah Hoffpower at first base.
Ooh, I would be hurting for a month if I did that.
Not sure Xavier Nady, a converted outfielder, would have done that. But he's not out there tonight after playing 2 games at first base to open the series. And here's Alfonso Soriano, 3 extra base hits in the series. And Soriano suddenly is in the top 10 in the league with 55 extra base hits.
He's always been one of my favorite hitters to watch. He doesn't get cheated up there. Very aggressive. Hit all those home runs. 46 here one year or something?
He did in 06.
But he's up there ready to hit, boy. I played winter ball in 77, 78 in the Dominican Republic, 75 in Mexico. And those guys down there in those Latin countries, they generally are so aggressive. This guy, not any different.
He hit 33 homers his first year with the Cubs and hasn't hit more than 29 since. 29 in 08, 20 last year and this season. But he's had injuries, his right wrist, his left hand in 08, his left knee last year, hamstrings.
Doesn't handle the breaking ball away very well. Pretty much middle-end hitter going up with the fastball.
And Marquis jams him well. Easy fly ball from Morgan. And that'll bring up Blake DeWitt.
Bob, we're talking about the strike zone here and where you need to do. He needs to see the shin guards right through here. The shin guards right there. He needs to start the ball there and work down. Anything up in this area up here is a pitch that he throws for purpose, like there for effect. So if he's keeping the ball below those shin guards or down around those shin guards, that ball's too high. Even though it's a strike, that's not what makes this kid effective. And let's just see as the night goes on and he gets his rhythm if he starts working down more in the strike zone.
Blake DeWitt 3 for 9 in the series with a homer and 2 RBIs. Tries to pull that outside pitch. Dunn hustles to the bag, turns around, and the throw from Kennedy was already in the air. Well played by the right side infielders. 2 down, and that'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Giovanni Soto.
Well, he has his changeup working. You mentioned that earlier pitch being a changeup that moved hard and down. That pitch there, another changeup, had him out front. DeWitt took the sting out of his bat and allowed Kennedy to get there. There you go. Good spot.
Soto 1 for 6 in RBI. 3 walks in the series.
See, Bobby, you couldn't even hit this right here. See how that ball moves down?
You're going to top it.
You're going to top that pitch.
That's our Kinetic pitch track. Kinetic North America providing world-class technology to our national and homeland security customers.
And I say that because I know you're a low ball hitter. I've seen you tee that golf ball up. And
I'm just like Tim Wallach, man.
Oh, yeah.
Not too many right-handed batters handle the pitch down and in.
Yeah, we've never could figure that out either. Left-handers naturally hammer that ball down in there. Right-handers generally like the ball up above the waist.
One theory I heard, especially regarding switch hitters, most of them are right-handed to begin with, and that dominant arm, that right arm able to pull the bat down and drop the bat head on the ball when they're hitting from the left side. Not too many guys have the same swing from both sides of the plate. That's a liner right at Zimmerman, and the Cubs are gone in the top of the second. Done. Bernardina Morse coming up. Luna double every night. Get your second room of flooring free at 877-241-LUNA. And two good-looking rookie shortstop. One's 20, one's 24. It's Starlin Castro of the Cubs, Ian Desmond of the Nats.
Yeah, both very impressive. Starlin Castro, just a great-looking little player. Swings the bat well. They talked about, the 300 batting average would take a dive when he got through the league the second time, but that hasn't happened.
Not yet. Here's Adam Dunn. Adam in his career, 5 for 14 against Dempster, with 2 home runs, including that one on April 28th, and 4 RBIs. Great fastball outside corner, row 2. Teams are pitching Adam away, getting ahead, and then pounding him inside. But Soto's going to stay away on 0-2, and Dempster paints. And Adam Dunn just stands there, marveling at the generous strike zone early by Bob Davidson.
Let's check and see if it's generous. It looks like to me he pounds that thing right over that corner, but we'll see. Just off the outside, you're right, buddy. Generous. You got those eagle eyes, too. You and Bob Davidson. Our buddy Satch Davidson, a former Major League umpire, good friend, passed away in Houston
2 days ago. He was a good one.
He sure was.
Here's Roger Bernardina. 1 for 6 in the series. Nobody in the lineup tonight has more than 2 hits in this set against the Cubs. That's a pop-up to Castro. 2 outs. Michael Morse will be the hitter. Where is the offense? Take away 1 swing by Adam Kennedy last night, and the Nats would have been held to 1 run. Shut out twice over the weekend in Philadelphia. 1 run scored here on Monday. Michael Morse is 10 for his last 65.
I was listening to Dusty Baker on an interview last night, and he was talking about the reason his ball club has been so solid this year has been the fact that he has 8 guys in the batting order that spoils a lot of pitches, that foul tough pitches off. They will go 6, 7, 8 pitches into an at bat. We don't have that. We don't have that kind of hitter on this ball club.
Sounded like a broken bat from Morse. Easy for Soriano. And Dempster faces only 6 batters in his first 2 innings. He'll lead off, no score, top of the 3rd coming. See a sideline report.
Well, some medical notes to pass along. Josh Willingham had surgery today on his left knee to clean out his medial meniscus. He told me yesterday that he'd be back here at the ballpark on Thursday, and Lee Kuntz, the trainer, said that he will do his post-op work here with the ball club. Now, Steven Strasburg will undergo an arthrogram tomorrow. We will keep you posted as soon as we hear the results. And Ross Detweiler told me today that he is making progress after a bullpen session with Steve McCaddy. Ross telling me it went well, but he's still not 100%. He's having some issues with his landing, Bob.
And that'll be a base hit all the way for Dempster. Great range by Desmond. Ian wisely not throwing the ball. And the Cubs have their leadoff man for the second time aboard.
Well, that's growth. That's growth right there. How many times have we seen Ian Desmond this year cut that ball loose, knowing the pitcher's running, but he held the ball. He didn't have a shot, but that shows some maturity right there, and those are positive things.
Dempster's 8th hit of the year. Cubs have some pitchers who can handle the bat. When you put him together with Zambrano, Adam Dunn will play slightly behind him at first base. The hitter is Kosuke Fukudome. So Dunn really not holding the runner on here. And a fastball. Looks like the strikes are to be had on the outside part of the plate. The way Bob Davidson's strike zone is leaning that way tonight. And as long as he gives Marquis that part of the plate like he did Dempster, everything will be fine.
And I think he will. He's always been a guy that's been real consistent behind the plate, Bob. And I always thought he was favored to pitchers because he has a strike zone that's not extremely wide. You won't see him call that ball 2 balls off the plate, but he'll give you a ball off the plate. And that's fine. That's the way it was in the old days, and I think that's why hitters swung the bats a little bit more during my time, as those umpires back then, they didn't mind ringing you up. I mean, they wanted the game to move pretty quickly. So, but as a hitter, you know that, and you can adjust to it. The only thing with Adam playing the runner off there, he needs to get away from Dempster. He's standing right there. It doesn't do you any good. He needs to get on back in here and put his glove over his shoulder because you're that close to the bag. It's not really helping you. You might as well stay on the bag. He just needs to back on up. Get on back there, Adam. Dempster's not going anywhere. I guarantee you he's not going to run. As long as you're there and you're present and he feels your presence, you just put your glove right over his shoulder and get on back. Get on back. There you go. There you go. It's better.
And it wasn't a factor on the first couple of pitches as Marquis was working away to Fukudome. But if he gets something he can pull, your point will be very well taken to keep that ball out of right field.
Watch how he goes, slides that right leg out, blocked it, didn't go down on his knees. That's a little surprising, but sometimes all the time those breaking balls kick back the opposite way that it's rotating.
2-2 pitch. There's a ball chopped to Dunn. That's fair. He'll throw it right by the runner to get the force play, and then Fukudome runs right into Adam Dunn.
That's not a good feeling.
Wow. Dunn was standing there after making the throw, and Fukudome just bashed right into him, and I can tell you who got the worst of that collision.
Adam backing up, giving him plenty of time to have lateral range, gets there, nice short hop, gets himself set, makes a tough throw to the inside, goes back. I mean, this is good play. Adam has done a good job catching ground balls. I hear people ridiculing him for his defense sometimes, and catching ground balls, he's made a vast improvement.
Fukudome putting a splint on that left arm. Here's Starlin Castro, struck out swinging after being ahead in the count 2-0 first time up. Marquis unable to get a strike in her half. Cubs on the year 53-74. The Nationals 53-73.
Morris playing very shallow in right field. He could almost throw Starling out if there's a one-hopper there. Pretty average depth in center. But this kid's hit 2 balls to right field, low line drive, so looks like the Nationals leadership has decided they're going to choke him off on the right field side.
Ground ball should be 2. Turned by Kennedy. It is 2. The Nats get a 6-4-3, and each team has turned to double play. It's Wired Wednesday, and Jim Riggleman joins us live in a moment. Just one hit in the game. Purchase your Sunday Family Fun Pack. Cardinals will be here on Sunday. It includes a seed hot dog, chips, and a soda, starting at just $14. Visit nationals.com/kids to purchase your Family Fun Pack tickets. Jordan Zimmerman and Chris Carpenter tomorrow night. Adam Kennedy 2 for 9 in the series with the 3 RBI double last night. And Adam batting .294 in his last 36 games. Wired Wednesday brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Good to have Jim Riggleman live with us. Skip, thanks for joining us. And your thoughts on Jason Marquis through 3 scoreless innings.
Yeah, Jason's been pretty good. He got a few ground balls. Got that ground ball right there to end the inning. And that's what we look for from him, have some sinking action on the ball that the hitter's going to hit more on the ground than in the air.
Jim, what are you looking for this last month or so of the season? Is there anything in particular with your ball club?
Well, I tell you, Ray, we just want to get back to playing good, solid baseball, and other things will take care of themselves. We obviously haven't been happy with the results that we've had in the last couple months, and that's it's a little disheartening. But yet, there's a lot of baseball left to play. We feel like there's a lot of light at the end of the tunnel. All those cliche things, but it's really true. We really feel like we're starting to put together a good bullpen. We like to continue to have that grow and get a look at Jordan Zimmerman and a couple other pitchers that may join us in September, and hopefully get some good news on Steven Strasburg.
Hey, Jim, finally, and we thought he was called out on a pitch out of the strike zone. Your thoughts on Adam Dunn? Anything you can see that's causing him to struggle right now?
No. Adam, his comments have kind of been that, it seems like I go through 2 or 3 these a year, these spells here like this. He said, I have no really explanation for why it starts and why I come out of it, but it seems inevitable. It happens, and I got to get out of it soon. That's his feeling about it.
Jim, thanks for your time. We always appreciate it, and keep Mr. Marquis on the roll, would you?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay.
That's Jim Riggleman from the dugout, live on Wired Wednesday, presented by Verizon Wireless. Will Nieves, the hitter, after Kennedy struck out. He gets jammed and hopes the ball stays fair. Probably would have been a hit. Instead, strike 2.
Ryan Dempster, we talked about in the open, one of the keys is his control. And if you just watch him, he's a master. When I first saw him and he came in the league with the Marlins, he was a gunner. 96 miles an hour, won 15 and 14 games, but just overpowered people. Walked a lot of people, struck out a lot of people. Then he hurt his arm. Then he went to the bullpen, and he learned a lot in the bullpen. He used 2 pitches mainly in the bullpen. He was always a guy that had 4 or 5 pitches, trying to refine those. Now he usually has 3 pitches, and all of those pitches he can throw to spots at any time in the count.
28 and 15 his last 2 years with the Cubs. 17 and 6 08, 11 and 9 last year, and he's 11 and 8 this year.
And eats up innings, boy. 16 of his last 17 outings, 16 of 17 into the 7th inning.
Little tapper in front of the plate. Will's off to the races. Dempster, the bare hand, and the ball gets away. Should be a base hit for Will Nieves. He's aboard with 1 out for the pitcher Marquis, who is a very good hitter for a pitcher.
Tops the ball right out in front, dies on the grass right there. Easier play for the catcher if he comes on out and gets that ball because he's going toward first base. Usually when you pick up that ball barehanded, you have a change-up grip. That's exactly what he threw over there. But watch where this ball hits. Right there in front, behind the plate actually, and bounds forward. Might have caught the corner of the plate. Fair ball.
Base hit, by the way. Will take it. He's 7 for his last 14. Marquis, perfect bunt. A momentary bobble by Ramirez there, and then he gets him. The runner's down to second base with 2 outs. And that's Marquis' second sacrifice of the year and his 35th career. Tomorrow night, the Cardinals are here. Chris Carpenter and Jordan Zimmerman. Friday night, game 2 of the series, also 7 o'clock. And Saturday, Scott Olsen, Jaime Garcia, Friday. Levon against Kyle Loesch on Saturday. And then Adam Wainwright faces John Lannon Sunday afternoon. Then it's on to Florida. The Nats' next road trip will take them to the homes of the Marlins and the Pirates.
Time for Niger to have a good at-bat. That first at-bat, he was all confused there. He wasn't on any of those pitches. Started him inside. Little check swing on that.
Well, and then swinging at that fastball up out of the zone for strike 2. Really,
it did.
For all intents and purposes, ended that at bat. Dempster gets you 0-2, you're in trouble. So Niger in the series just 1 for 10. His only hit came in the 8th inning last night.
That's the 2-seam fastball, 87. He throws on the outside part of the plate and tries to run it toward the third baseline or the right-handed hitter's batter's box. And that's what he's looking for, a little ground ball to third there. Going back out there again. Just 33 years old. Signed a 4-year extension with the Cubs through 2012.
Well, he's paid off so far. He's been one of their better pitchers. Certainly better record than Carlos Zambrano lately. Durable.
Come on.
And that'll be 2-2 on a pitch in the dirt. We were talking about this last night when you put Soriano together with Zambrano and Dempster and Fukudome, Marlon Byrd, Aramis Ramirez. The Cubs already have over $100 million dedicated to their payroll next year, and that only encompasses about 6 or 7 players on their roster. Their ability to go out and sign additional free agents may be severely hampered. That's a foul ball.
I would say so. You know, that club always makes money because they draw so well, and those Chicago fans are unreal. They show up no matter what, rain or shine, winning or losing. They're going to be packed. You can spend all the money you want to spend. You've got to have a blend. There has to be something, and some people argue this, but I just know in the ball clubs that I played on that won in Cincinnati and New York, there was a closeness on that ball club, a common thread, a bond, And, I mean, you might go your separate ways off the field, but when you're playing between those lines, there was a commitment.
Morgan slaps another one foul. Saw that shot of Mike Quade, the outstanding baseball man. Managed 17 years in the minor leagues for the Cubs. The scuttlebutt that we're getting from talking to Chicago guys for the last 3 days here is that Joe Girardi might be plan B for a new manager. If that doesn't happen with the man from Peoria, Ryan Sandberg possibly plan B, managing at AAA Iowa. Well played. First baseman Hoffbauer to Dempster. The Nats are gone. Scoreless game into the middle innings. .41 pitches. Each pitcher has spun a double play, and this was spectacular.
Yeah, sweet. DeWitt, Castro clearing himself at second base, hard charging Desmond. See it again. Nice speed. Look how far he gets away from that bag. About 8 or 10 feet to get out of the way of the traffic. Then perfect ground ball. Easy double play for Marquez. He's starting to induce those ground balls and get the ball to the bottom part of the strike zone.
Top of the fourth inning, Marlon Byrd, Aramis Ramirez, Micah Hoffbauer for the Cubs.
He looks a lot more settled now. You don't see him out there jittering or trying to find the rubber. He sets up, calm, and just goes. He was just trying to get a feel early. Drop down on that. His arm got underneath the ball. You see him use that little going away with a flat hand. Means stay on top of the baseball. Sometimes when that ball goes high, it's because you drop your arm.
A couple of ball games today. The Braves led 10-1 at Colorado in the third inning and lost to the Rockies 12-10. The Reds led big at San Francisco. They led 6-0 in the third inning, and they're in the 12th. Now Zimmerman, when he has no time to think about it, just does a 360 right there, Ray, and whips it right on target over to first base.
You know what? Watch 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. That's a good 16 feet of range. Catches that ball. Ball was hit hard, but a little hop step, like when you're playing tennis, receiving a serve, that gets you on the balls of your feet. So your first step, that crossover step, is quick. Boy, he's good.
Joey Votto, by the way, 2 homers in that Cincinnati game. And he's tied Adam Dunn for second in the league at 31. Albert Pujols is at 33. And a foul ball off to the right from Aramis Ramirez.
Well, he must have a very good movement. Even though the balls have been up, and I'm trying to visualize his sinker starting like we talked about, right about knee high, working down to the shins. there hasn't been a ball put in play up there hard. So must have some late movement causing these hitters to and Steve Rogers was that way. He would throw the ball up every once in a while, and it would have sideways movement like Sean Hill did. Real good sideways movement, and it made it look like that ball was about 92, 93 miles an hour because the ball was coming into the handle of the bat.
Way inside. 2-1.
It would be great to see this man return to the form that we signed him for, eating up those 200 innings. You know, I think he'll end up being the third starter on this ball club when he gets right behind Strasburg and Zimmerman, Jordan Zimmerman.
All right, twilight time. Adam Kennedy does not know where the ball is, but Desmond does. You need some young eyes out there, don't you? Adam Kennedy had that ball disappear into the twilight on him. Now, tomorrow at 5:45, Bryce Harper will be introduced as a member of the Washington Nationals organization. We'll be live here at the ballpark. Johnny Holliday, Debbie Taylor, yours truly, and bring it to you live. Ryan Zimmerman will present Bryce with his Nationals jersey, just like he did Mr. Strasburg last year. Hope you can join us 5:45 on Mass and HD tomorrow, prior to the Nats and the Cardinals. Micah Hoffpar now 0 for 9 on the year, flied out to center field first time up.
Something very critical. Mentioned it in the first inning. Only averaging 12 pitches per inning after that 20 pitch first inning. So that sets him up now to go 7 or 8 innings just because he's worked so well and got a low pitch count early, Bob.
Well hit by Hoffpar, his first hit of the year, most of the year with the Cubs in the minor leagues, and he's aboard with 2 outs for, and look out, Alfonso Soriano. Don't make a mistake here.
Hey, with DeWitt behind him, Marquis has to be thinking exactly what you said. I'm not going to let this guy bother me. I'm going to pitch him tough. And even if you walk him, this is a time he hasn't walked anybody, but you do not go right at this guy. I mean, he's the guy that you pick out in the lineup that in this inning, with the runners on, you don't fool with him. You make good pitches and move on to the next guy, even if it puts him in scoring position.
Interesting thing about this matchup is Soriano is not in there to walk. He wants to hack. He's walked 32 times this year in 395 at-bats.
Well, that's why he scares me. He's like Vlad. Not quite as bad as Vlad Guerrero, but he's up there swinging that stick now.
Way inside 2-0.
Yeah, he's not going to fool with him. This is what you saw Roy Halladay. I mean, Niger leads off with a double. A ball gets into third. Halladay pitched really tough to Zimmerman and Dunn. Walked both of them. Sets up a situation, bases loaded. Makes a good pitch to Bernardine, a double play. That's what the great pitchers do. They don't give in to the hitters that are the most dangerous. Good slider.
Yeah, probably would have been ball 3, but as I mentioned, Soriano's aggressive.
Certainly didn't throw him a fastball, though, 2-0, did he?
No, he didn't.
Mentioned earlier, he has a tough time with the slider. I mean, because he's just wailing and belling, buddy. He doesn't have any, there's no finesse about this guy at the plate. Very good pitch. See, I like what he's doing. Here's people at home saying, you know, don't walk this guy, don't walk this guy. Not that DeWitt won't get a hit, but over the course of 10, 12, 15 at-bats, Soriano's going to drive in a whole lot more runs than Blake DeWitt.
He'll lift one to left center. Niger Morgan stalking it. He'll get there. And that'll do it for the Cubs in the 4th. Coming up, Desmond Zimmerman Dunn, 2, 3, and 4 for the Nats. Well pitched so far, no score. game when they see one. And it's been that by Dempster and Marquis. And the fact that Jason Marquis has 4 scoreless innings, it's the biggest story of the year for him so far.
Well, this is what we've been looking for the whole year. He's throwing the ball exceptionally well. The slider right there, he went to that with Soriano, did not give in, stayed with the slider, got behind him, and Soriano chased a bad pitch. And that's what he's always been able to do, throw the ball on the margins of the strike zone. And by doing that, you make people chase, especially aggressive hitters, chase pitches that are your pitch and take the sting out of your bat.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Desmond leads off. He walked first time up. Raced on the double play when Zimmerman stung it up the middle, and Blake DeWitt took a hit away from him. So Dempster 33 pitches, 24 strikes in his first 3 good innings. Ryan Zimmerman. And that'll even things up 2-2. Ian has hit safely in 8 of his last 9 games before a sore thumb kept him out of the first 2 games in this series as a starter. He'll reach out and stroke it right to the first baseman, Puffball. Action-packed table games, red-hot slots await. Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races, West Virginia. They bring us our league leaders. And Joey Votto, a couple of home runs tonight. Adam Dunn on the list. The most home run hitters against right-handed pitching. Interesting that fielders Zimmerman and Ugla are right-handers. Ryan's hit the ball hard his last 2 times up. The drive to right ending the game last night and the double play ball tonight.
Now, I'm going to throw out something that a lot of people are going to think is crazy, but you have, a month left in the season. Basically, that means 150 more at bats minimally. Ryan Zimmerman, if he were to get hot, like he can get hot, and have a month where he hits like 380, 390, can win the batting title. You're looking at this league where 300 is 6th in the league and 323, 324 is leading the league. Now, as long as Mr. Pujols is out there, I don't know that that's going to be possible. But he has gotten himself in position this late in the season to finish very high up on that batting average deal.
Ryan's never hit higher than 292. That was last year. And he's gone on a fastball. Adam Dunn will face Ryan Dempster. Homer this year, April 28th, the day game in Chicago. There's no way that ballpark's going to hold that guy when he gets one in the air to left center. I don't care if the wind's coming in or not. Nats won that game 3-2. Kennedy also homered in that game. And Adams hit 2 career against Dempster.
Well, I mean, he's pitching him away. I mean, everything is away. He hit that home run. It was away. When he was hot, he was hitting those balls away. He seems to be taking that. You mentioned that partner early tonight that they're going away with him and then working him inside. You got to go up there looking for that ball away and driving it because he can hit that ball the other way. Hard, long. And he's not done that the last 2 weeks. He's taken that pitch away consistently. And then, everybody knows that he's vulnerable inside.
That looked better than the pitch he was called out on in the 2nd inning. Let's see where this was. Very close.
I think it was low. It's going to be close, but I think it's just a tad low right in that corner. To a hitter, that looks way low because it's outside the outside part. Ooh, my goodness.
And then Dunn takes the pitch right down the inner half. Not sure what Adam was looking for there. Struck out twice tonight and 160 times on the year. And every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Miller Lite Party Night here at Nationals Park. Scoreboard pavilion seat and a drink voucher, $20. $22 for prime games. Come early, pregame happy hour at the Miller Lite Scoreboard Walk Bar featuring $5 beers. Top of the fifth, Blake DeWitt. Marquis going to get him on one pitch if they catch this one. And here comes Michael Morse. We're beyond twilight time. Sky nice and dark to pick up those fly balls. AT&T trivia. Here comes the smartphone. First base coach Ivan De Jesus, 5 years for the Cubs, traded to the Phillies. Who did the Cubs receive? It's possible that the other guy involved in that trade is the other coach for the Cubs. Was it Bob Denier? No, he played for both of those clubs.
You know what? I thought it was Ryan Sandberg.
And De Jesus, by the way, is at third base permanently now. Mike Quade was the third base coach. They moved De Jesus to third and put in Bob Denier at first. That wasn't the Ryan Sandberg deal, was it?
I thought it might have been.
That might be.
Shortstop for second baseman.
Because Sandberg was a Philly originally.
Right.
And that'll go down as one of the worst deals ever. No matter who he was traded for. So it's 1-on-1 out. Here's Dempster, who could be sacrificing. He's a very good bunter. 13 on the year, 71 in his career.
He'd definitely bunt here.
Makes that look easy. Marquis thought about second, flips it to Kennedy. Sacrifice good, 1-4. And things are happening quickly here in the fifth inning at the bottom of the order. Mike Quade, 17 years in the minor leagues with different organizations. Coaching time with Oakland and Chicago.
Yeah, now, why go out and get Joe Girardi just because he's a name when you have a man that has been in that organization, AAA for 3 years with the Cubs, now the last, 5 years with the big league club, all this experience.
Knows the organization.
Knows the organization. The players know him and said they like him, that they feel comfortable with him. It's always, the big names that just seem to trade job after job. And I just remember when Jimmy Leland came along, nobody really knew anything about him. Same thing with Sparky Anderson. Just because you're not a big name or not a big league player doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing out there and can't handle a ball club.
Well, Phil Wood brought up an interesting point on the radio after the ball game the other night. As this one fades out of play, I mean, Lou Piniella won a championship in Cincinnati and then went 20 years without winning one.
It's all about...
And that's one of the big names out there that somebody would always go after.
Oh, yeah.
No disrespect to Lou. I mean, he won a lot of ball games, 14th on the all-time list, won a world championship. But managers will tell you they're as good as their players. They're as good as their ball club.
There's not a manager out there that's going to turn mediocre talent into a club that's winning. I mean, they may get along. They may have a little better idea of how to play the game because they reflect the manager's attitude. They hustle because they don't accept it, anything less than that. But I've been around too long. I mean, it's the players, managers. Just, if you're a good manager, and most of these guys are, it's whether or not you're dealt the right cards, man. I mean, you look at the LaRussas and those type people, the Lelands, they always get clubs that are willing to spend money, and, they always get good ball clubs.
Well, and they have a standing in the game where they say, well, I'm not interested in that job. You can't win there.
Exactly.
Other guys have to take that job.
Yeah, Dusty Baker,
But I think Whitey Herzog said it best one year. He lost Bruce Sutter to the Braves in free agency. He said, I just got 40 games dumber.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, boy.
He was a genius before that, and he knew it. Managers know. But there are guys like Mike Wade all over Major League Baseball that I agree with you, Ray, would be very good managers. And the feeling around baseball seems to be that as soon as Joe Torre decides what his future is and possibly leaves the Dodgers, then a bunch of dominoes will start falling all over baseball. Fukudome 0 for 1 with a walk. A 3-2 pitch with Soto at second base. 2 outs, top of the 5th. Scoreless game. Target in, up and in.
Good pitch.
Didn't miss by much, and that's another walk to the leadoff man.
It was a ball, but it's a good spot. Good job, I feel, with first base open. You take him to 3-2, pitching him tough. That's the kind of base on balls you don't mind. Because now you get to start all over again. This kid has hit the ball extremely well this year, but now you've got a force out at any base but home, take some pressure off your defense.
And he's also a right-handed hitting rookie.
Yes.
Far cry from the experience of Fukudome. Castro has struck out swinging and hit into a 6-4-3 double play. But you don't want to face Marlon Byrd, who's next. So This is the key hitter here. At him reaching. Little ground ball. Desmond on the charge. The throw. Perfect. Close play. Got him at first. Well, we talked about those two good young shortstops, both with speed and athletic ability. One throws out the other right here. And the kids are having a great time tonight. We're going to look back on the Geico President's Race from a couple of innings ago. Teddy running well.
I think Teddy's getting faster. Just, he starts quickly.
Here comes Tom. And Teddy, not win, place, or show. Getting honorable mention means little in that race. Bottom of the 5th, Dempster facing Bernardina, Morse, and Kennedy. Bernardina swinging early in the count, a pop up to short first time. Roger comes into this game hitting .295 at Nationals Park. But all 8 of his home runs on the road and the bulk of his RBIs. Final meeting of the year between these two, 3-2 Cubs. They've clinched the series win, so each team has won a series in the other's ballpark. By the way, the Reds won that game in San Francisco, blowing a big lead and then scoring a run in the top of the 12th to beat the Giants 12-11. So their lead over St. Louis in the Central is now 3 games, and the Cardinals are trailing 4-0 at Pittsburgh in the 4th inning.
Now this is a little more what I'm talking about. You get 0-2, you foul a pitch off, he throws a ball, you take a ball, you get it back to 2-2, and Roger's gotten better and better at this as the season's gone along. Tough pitch.
He's gone. Dempster striking out 3 in a row, and 6 Nationals down on strikes. UPS Store with the pitch track, Ray.
Yeah, big curveball. Watch it go up, down, boom. Top of the strike zone, bottom of the strike zone. Doesn't throw a lot of those pitches. Tends to throw more sliders, but he will throw the curveballs to left-handers. And there he threw a good one. Spun that thing off.
UPS Store does a lot more than shipping. They offer moving boxes and supplies. Fastball is up to Michael Morse, who flied to left first time. The Nats have 1 hit. A Will Nieves dribbler about 30 feet in front of home plate. By the way, the Astros are giving the Phillies another headache tonight. Single runs in the 4th and the 6th. Home runs by Michael Bourne and Hunter Pence, who has 20. Jason Worth a solo for the Phils. 2-1 Houston, 6th inning at Citizens Bank Park after they went 16 innings last night. And Roy Oswalt ended up the game playing left field because they had to bring Raul Ibanez into play first. Ryan Howard got kicked out on a check swing and physically went after the third base umpire and got ejected. Marlins 3-1 at the Mets in the 5th inning.
And I think that will probably be a suspension for Ryan.
Well, he was tossing equipment before that even happened. And here's a ball high in the air out of play from the bat of Morse. Phillies can't afford to lose Ryan Howard for a couple of days. They've had enough time without their key guys this year.
Yeah, they're just fortunate Atlanta has started to not hit. Although they put up a Big 10 spot out there in Colorado.
Yeah, 14 hits and they lose. When's the last time the Atlanta Braves were 9 runs ahead and lost a ball game?
Who started that game, Bob? Do we know?
Yes, I do. That was Jair Jurgens. Morse gets under 1 out to center. It'll play for the former Net, Marlon Byrd. Adam Kennedy put a good swing on the ball last night, 9th inning, picked up 3 RBIs. Gave the Nats a chance to at least come back.
He sure did. He went out and got a fastball on the outside part, raked it down the right field line, 3 runs, and then Zim came right back and hit a ball down in that corner. Fukudome, playing no doubles, was able to cut it down.
And really a right-handed hitter against Marmol. What more can you do than hit it with authority to right field? And that's what Ryan did. Just didn't fall for him. Kennedy struck out swinging first time tonight. Kennedy and Zimmerman, the only Nationals with as many as 2 hits in these 3 games against one of the bottom pitching staffs in the league. The Cubs have the 4th worst ERA in the National League, coming in 4.39.
Oh, this guy doesn't fit in that category.
He's 3.5 ERA, Dempster.
Yeah, and he's had a phenomenal year. Golly, you look at what he's done. 22 quality starts out of 26, 25 out of 26 starts. He's gone 5th inning or better.
He's gone 6 innings 22 times.
Jeez.
7 innings 11 times. And in his last outing against the Braves, he got a no decision, pitching 8 innings for the 4th time this year and giving up 2 earned runs on only 4 hits. So he's dealing right now. Kennedy takes it the other way to the shortstop, Starlin Castro. Nats are gone quickly. 7 straight, and 11, make it 12 of the last 13 by Dempster. .61 pitches. Jason Marquis, 68. Nobody getting any hits with runners in scoring position, and by far the best outing of the year for the Nationals right-hander.
Strikeout Castro, pitch up, little sinker down, jams him, double play right there, then breaking ball out front, little tapper to shortstop. Great play by Desmond as he charges that ball, gets rid of that thing all in one motion, fires a P over there. 5 innings, 94 pitches. Last start in Philly, that's almost 20 an inning. He's averaging 13 an inning in this ball game as he's thrown 68 pitches. That'll get you somewhere. 13 pitches an inning will get you through 8 innings. I heard John Lannon mention last night, that's the way the skipper manages. Well, when you're down 3 or 4 runs, when it comes your turn in the 5th inning as a pitcher, you're going to be pinch hit for. If you're down a run or 2, the manager can allow you to hit and take you on through the 6th, 7th inning. But, this year we have been down so often, multi-runs in that 5th or 6th inning that, as a manager, you have to try to build an inning.
That's why they say about the great pitchers, get them early. It's the only way you get them out. Cubbies box score. A hit by the pitcher in the 3rd. Hoffpar in the 4th. Soto in the 5th. A couple of walks in there, but no consequence. A balk in the 1st inning. Cubs have stranded 3 runners. The Nats just won.
Yeah, I call those walks situational walks. When you have a runner out there and a hitter, and you look in the on-deck circle, and the guy that you see over there, you like him better as far as a matchup.
And the 1-2. Bird gets jammed. Little pop fly for Desmond. Saturday night, Pudge Bobblehead Night. You, the fans, chose this one. First 15,000 fans receive the Fans' Choice Pudge Bobblehead presented by PNC Bank. Go to nationals.com/tickets, 888-632-NATS, to purchase your tickets today. And on that bobblehead, Debbie Taylor will not be looking over his shoulder. Pudge is down where Debbie works. Come on, Pudge, that's our booth. He likes to get as close to the action as he can. In the corner of that camera well where Pudge is stationed, that is as close as you can be to home plate and still be technically around the dugout.
Look at that thing right there, Bob. That is the sinker we're looking for. The one that goes down about 4 inches and in 4 or 5 inches. There it is. That's a changeup, actually, but the same action. I mean, he's in rhythm now, boy. And that's all he needed. He just needed to see some positive. Look at this changeup. Look how it goes down. I mean, that is filthy. Filthy. As you see, top of the strike zone, bottom of the strike zone, moving in over the plate when the hitter sees it, but then down and in about his back shoelace when it gets to him.
Man, I've never heard a hitter so excited about a good changeup.
Well,
that's some good pitching right there.
Yeah, I'm pulling for this guy, man.
We all are.
You know, I hate to see anybody struggle, and you know he's had so much success. He's a gamer. He wants to win. There is nothing more embarrassing than to go out there and fail. But when you're making the kind of money he is, he's so prideful. He wants the people to be proud of him. He wants to be able to look people in the eye. And I'm telling you, when you're making a lot of money and you fail, you know, you don't feel comfortable anywhere, nowhere. I had a year like that in '85, making a lot of money and had some injuries, and I was just playing horrible. The only person I felt good with was my wife and children.
Yeah, the ones who love you no matter what.
The one who love you no matter what. I one time went 4 for 4 at Shea Stadium, and there were 55,000 people there, but I was hitting .230. The next night I come up and I get announced, and everybody boos me. And I said, oh, my gosh, is this 55,000 different people? I got 4 hits last night. But it didn't matter to them because they look up there and I'm hitting .232. And so, you know, it's not easy, man. But, hey, get paid a lot of money to do something you love, and you feel like a little boy, but you can get beat up in a hurry. And Jason's had his share of hard knocks this year now.
1-2 to Aramis Ramirez. Had him reaching. Jason Marquis has fond memories of Washington, D.C. When he was with St. Louis in '05, he posted a complete game win here on a Saturday afternoon when he threw about 90 pitches. About 90% of those were sinkers. Shut out the Nationals. Then he went to Houston his next start and threw another complete game, possibly the best two-game stretch in his career. And I remember Dave Duncan back at that time telling him, son, just throw the sinker. See what they can do with it. Got that pitch up a little bit, even off the hands of Ramirez. It's a base hit.
Still a solid pitch. Up, yes. Good spot, yes. Did he hit the ball hard? No. So you take the sting out of a bat, you give a little dunk single to a guy that can hit 30 home runs a year, and you know, that was a good pitch. But again, maybe a little high because that allowed you to get the ball in the air.
Here's Micah Hoffpar. 1 for 2 at the base hit tonight. Pulled one to right field last time. Pulls one this time. Kennedy. Desmond is a 4.63 any quicker and easier than that. Marquis gets another ground ball out. 6 shutout innings. This is the Jason Marquis we were thinking about during the offseason. On that, they're having a great time. No score, 6th inning. Friday, come watch your Nats and the Cardinals. 7:05, but $5 beers, live music begins when the gates open at the Miller Lite Scoreboard Walk. After the game, post-game Friday night fireworks. Nationals.com/tickets, 888-632-NATS. First pitch, 6th inning, and Will Nieves hits it hard. That's baseball. You dribble one, you get a hit, you scorch one, it's right at somebody.
Isn't that true?
And here's Marquis to bat. And he gets a nice round of applause by the Nats fans. Washington's box score, one little dribbler. The only hit. And if Dempster pops up and makes an accurate throw on that ball, that would have ruined the no-hitter right there. Marquis strokes one nicely to left center. That's his second hit of the year. And for Jason Marquis, the 104th hit of his major league career.
He's a good athlete. I mean, you look at his swing here. This doesn't look like a pitcher hitting. He's got a very level swing, gets the thing started, uses his right leg to get everything on balance on time.
And an interesting question from one of our friends on the Nationals message board yesterday about why Jim Riggleman pinch hit Jason Marquis in the 6th inning. Actually, the 5th inning of that blowout win on Monday night. Well, at the time, we didn't know that Ian Desmond was not available because of his thumb. And Jim was down to 3 position players at that time. And with his team down by 7 runs in the 5th inning, he pinch hit Marquis at that point rather than a regular position player.
Most of the time when you see something like that happen, you can bet that there's something that the manager knows that you don't. And I actually had my general manager call me in Los Angeles because I put Mike Remlinger in to face a left-hander Delano DeShields when I had a right-hander out there that we were always going to get left-handers out. And called me in the middle of the night saying, "What are you doing putting that left-hander in?" And the right-hander had a bad toe and couldn't go to the mound. So
the ball gets away, and Marquis will hold, and now he won't because Soto never got a handle on the thing.
That right-hander was Big Lee Smith.
Well, Ray, one thing we found out over the years, as we watch this ball, so slippery.
That's a great read. Anytime that ball is going away and moving away from that catcher, you're able to see the distance that it travels. He initially thought the ball was staying underneath him. The ball rolls down the line. Catcher hesitates a moment. He goes off easily in the 3rd.
And a bounce it is short by Desmond to Castro. And the Nats are gone on a close play in the 6th inning. They strand only their 2nd runner tonight into the 7th, no score. Baseball broadcast on Masson, brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one, and by H.H. Gregg. We make buying TVs and appliances simple. H.H. Gregg, price and advice guaranteed. Beautiful evening in Washington, 81 degrees at game time. No score, 0-4-0 Cubs, 0-2-1 Nats. The answer to our AT&T trivia question. There's Ivan De Jesus. Who did he go to the Phillies for? We think it was Ryne Sandberg. And Larry Boa. Wow.
Whoa. Well, they had to get a shortstop to replace him, I guess, but
We get half credit for that one.
half credit.
Well, De Jesus was a very good infielder and a good major league hitter.
Oh, he had a gun, boy. He threw that thing right over the top. As good an arm as you'll ever want from a shortstop. Pretty good little offensive player, could steal bases.
Yeah. Dave Cash was still at second base for the Phillies at that time, and a young kid named Sandberg was expendable. Here's Alfonso Soriano, top of the seventh. Has flied out twice to center, and Ray was talking about those selective walks earlier by Marquis. It appeared he was almost trying to walk Soriano when the count went to 2-0 in the fourth inning with a runner aboard, and then Alfonso got himself out.
Well, they will. I mean, hitters like this, they'll get themselves out if you throw a pitch that starts somewhere in the strike zone and moves away or down.
2-0 again. Hacks one to center again. And he's flied out 3 times to Nigel Morgan.
Just good pitches all the way along. He's pitched him great. First at bat, away. Next at bat, getting behind him. Slider, slider, slider. Get him to fly out. And then that pitch, running fastball inside. Jammed him.
Well, he's having a great night. 3 hits, no runs through 6 1/3. He has sacrificed and singled with the bat. What else is he supposed to do? So here's DeWitt.
And he has 84 pitches. See, that gives him about 25 pitches to work with. I mean, right now, he's got 25 more pitches to work with before the manager's even going to think about getting anybody up. Unless they go bang, bang and get a couple of guys on.
Not this guy. To Hopper Kennedy. 2 outs. On Thursdays, we cover the bases with an ad. Look at that. Can you tell who it is yet, folks? It's J-Max, a young man who went on to the University of Maryland. We'll see him in some young athletic uniforms. Sherwood, Maryland High School. 3rd rounder by the Orioles originally. Became a Terp. Injury-filled couple of years in College Park. And then 3 years in the minor leagues. And we will cover the bases with the 26-year-old Nats outfielder tomorrow.
That's a good spot. Golly. He's pitching his heart out tonight, isn't he, Bobby?
I like it. Well, you were hoping the 5 innings against the Phillies would be something to build on. I like the way he's pitched inside tonight, keeping the Cubs off the plate. Marquis, 31 years of age. In fact, let me amend that. 4 days ago, he had a birthday. He's 32. That ball rocked, but well foul.
Because it's inside, boring inside. You're not going to hit the ball. If you hit it hard, you're going to hit it foul.
And working well with Will Nieves, we have to give the catcher a few props here, too.
Well, once you're ahead oh, yeah, goodness gracious. They've got it going tonight. Now, as a pitcher, if you have a hitter that far out in front on your fastball, you need to pull the string right here.
Oh, he does. 80 miles an hour on the straight change. Ray Knight calling pitches from the booth. Will Nieves thought it was a good idea. 7th inning stretch time. Good hitters coming up. 3-4-5. No score. is in his career 6-1 with a 3.80 ERA in 11 starts against the Nationals. We welcome Jordan Zimmermann back to the big leagues. He went 3-5 in 16 starts for the Nats last year with an earned run average of 4.63 when that surgery named after Tommy John stopped him. A year later, he's back. We can't wait to see him on the mound. 6:30 Nats Extra, Phil Wood and Johnny Holiday from the ballpark here. Good matchup tomorrow night. By the way, Zimmermann did pitch against St. Louis last year in this ballpark, but St. Louis beat him 6-2 on May the 1st when he gave up 5 runs in 5 2/3. Gave up home runs to Pujols and Chris Duncan that night. Ryan Dempster isn't giving up anything to anybody tonight. And Marquis, by the way, 91 pitches now through 5 innings, or rather through 7. So he has pitched this ball game, at least for his ball club, into the 8th. Zimmermann 0 for 2 with a double play ball and a strikeout.
Well, he'll pitch the 8th also. How about Dempster? 66 pitches. 6 innings, 11 pitches per inning.
He'll give up a few home runs, though, 22 of them this year. The breaking ball had Zimmermann leaning back.
Yeah, he gives them up on his fastball. The Dunn home run in Chicago, the Kennedy home run, both of those four-seam fastballs. Ryan used to have that I'm going to blow the ball by you attitude.
Zimmermann goes right field, and it'll carry to the edge of the track where it's caught by Kosuke Fukudome.
Well, this is a good swing here. The ball's just elevated just a little too much with a little too much juice on it. Perfect. Gets that front foot down, extends, stiffens the front leg just on the top of the barrel, just by about 1/8 of an inch. That's how much he missed that ball. I mean, that fraction keeps that ball from going 400 feet.
And the H.H. Gregg Exmo showing Zimmermann's head down and perfectly still throughout the entire swing.
Right on that pitch. Be aggressive, Adam. Come on, man.
Yeah, don't let him get at you 2 strikes.
No.
Trying not to.
Well, that was a good swing. That was a good swing. That's a ball he ought to put in play or foul back. That's when you know that Adam is struggling. It's when he swings through pitches that are belt high. He loves the ball belt high out away from him and get those big old arms and forearms extended. We'll go inside here, I believe.
Look out, folks. And the count's 1-2 to Dunn. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts tonight.
As a hitter, Bob, you've often heard, and I know that it's true, you're going to get at least one good pitch to hit. And you better hit that thing hard. He got a good pitch to hit, didn't make contact. Now it's a battle.
He's going to get run up on the outside corner again. Adam Dunn taking all 3 strikeouts tonight.
Well, when you can put it in the same spot over and over and over and over again, an umpire will give you that pitch. Now, we're going to see that pitch is just off the plate, but he's going to call it. I guarantee you, a ball off the plate, Davidson's going to call it. That's his strike zone. It's been his strike zone for 20 years. Adam knows it. You've got to protect there first and then fight everything off inside after that.
Well, I know it's been his strikeout or his strike zone for 1 hour and 41 minutes because he's been consistently calling it out there all night. Roger Bernardina pop up to short, swinging strikeout. That fastball, outer half. He might take this next one out a little further.
Oh,
why wouldn't you?
He has such great control. Just to watch a guy from the inception, when he began pitching to now, over a 10-year period, how he's changed his style.
You know, he has no hit stuff tonight.
He does.
The only hits he's given up, a little dribbler in front of the plate by Nieves, and then an opposite field flare by the pitcher Marquis. Other than that, Not too many balls well hit, if any. Rolnieva's lined out to the shortstop last inning. Zimmerman flied out deep to right center this inning. 2-2 to Bernardina, who did well just to make contact. 83, he took a little bit off.
Well, he called a changeup. The catcher wiggled his hands and called changeup. He wanted that ball down, working toward the plate, and got it up. Roger missed it because the speed of the ball was slow enough that he was a little out front on it. Fastball inside.
And he's going to get him on that side of the plate. Well, about the only thing producing tonight are the concession stands. The offenses certainly aren't. 8th inning coming up. No score in D.C. Out hit by the Cubs 4-2. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. One way to get rid of Ryan Dempster is to pitch well enough so that they have to pinch hit for him. And in a scoreless ball game, Mike Quade will do that with Tyler Calden.
Yeah, that's a little surprise. It's a little surprise.
I'm very surprised. With his pitch count, he's only thrown 79.
Oh, I'm surprised at this. Dempster being the kind of hitter he is. Yeah.
I mean, he has games 3 in a row and 7 of the last 8 and 8 of the last 10, Ray, when he's thrown well over 100 pitches.
Well,
so this can't be a fatigue issue on a night like this.
No, well, I don't know what's going on down there, but just using experience as the only factor, very few veteran managers would make this move with a veteran pitcher unless the veteran pitcher tells him he's had enough.
Yeah, hard to believe that Dempster would want to leave a game like this. The left-hander Burnett, the right-hander Clippard. Andrew Kashner evidently will take over for Ryan Dempster, who doesn't look too fatigued to me.
No, he's a quality man, buddy. Loves to play the game. One of the most competitive people I know.
And then Marquis walks the pinch hitter on 4 pitches. That'll be Jason's 3rd walk of the game. And a man he's walked twice coming in, Fukudome.
Well, that's the first sign of a guy being tired, because you do not want to walk that guy. You say it all the time, Bob. You know, we see, as I call them, situational walks where you want to pitch around the guy, but that is not one of them. So, you know, the first real mistake that he's made tonight.
Steve McCaddy a visit. So Dempster goes 7 shutout innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. He threw 79 pitches, 57 strikes. Pretty good night, Ray.
Yep, strikeout, pitch up. Another ground ball on a slider. Got on the end of the bat for a double play. Ball moving all over the place. Another little double play ground ball hit, taking the sting off, not even hit hard. And then comes back, strikes out on a change up there, 0-2. Actually 2-2, Soto, after he's pulled the ball. No, you couldn't pitch any better. I mean, both this best matchup I've seen from two pitchers all year long, or maybe it's been so long since I've seen one I can't remember it. But quick ball game. Fukudome, good bunter. Shouldn't bunt here.
Shows no signs of squaring. And 5 in a row out of the zone by Marquis.
Now, let's manage a little bit. You pinch hit. You're thinking that one run's going to be able to win you the ball game with your bullpen. You got your leadoff hitter as an excellent bunter. You choose not to bunt. And all you would lose possibly was your two-hole hitter if they decide to walk him, which they're not going to do.
Well, and you've taken your starter out for this to happen.
Right. So, to me, naturally, you bunt in this situation. You're past the 7th inning. The latter part of the game, you get 6 outs. After scoring a run, you go home. So, Quade not doing what most managers would do here. I guarantee you Whitey Herzog bunts here. Spark Anderson bunts here. Tony La Russa bunts here.
And Fukudome hits it a long way to left center. Niger Morgan will get there. The runner went to second, so he has to return. And Niger's speed, thank goodness he's not suspended. He appealed his suspension. He's playing tonight. And the Nats needed every one of those fast steps to get to this ball.
He did. The ball's hit very high. He starts him off with a changeup away, comes back with a changeup down for a strike, then a fastball up, 89. Hit the ball very high, gave him a chance to get under it. Got there easily. Those last 4 or 5 steps, just timing to play to make the basket catch. Looks like Jim's going to make a move.
Jim Riggleman, possibly the walk, coupled with that blast. And Jason Marquis gets his first standing ovation as a National on August 25th. It took a long time. He deserves it tonight.
I'm clapping for him too, Bobby.
Zone is where Tyler Clippard's trying to put his pitching coach tonight. 84K, second most in the major leagues by a reliever. Carlos Marmol, of course, has 108, and Marmol got 3 of those here last night. One on, one out is the situation Tyler inherits. Starlin Castro, right-handed hitting rookie, is up. He's 0 for 3. And then Marlon Byrd to follow.
Well, we featured him as a part of our open. Talked about how he misses bats with that great bullpen that Riggleman and Rizzo and crew has put together.
Runner goes. Great jump. Will Nieves had no chance. Tyler Clippard never paid the runner any mind at all. And Tyler Colvin basically eases into second base.
He had a great jump here. I mean, the first move, he's gone, steals the base easily. It was also a breaking ball. No chance. Great job by Quaddy there. You know, whenever there's a change in the game, an error made or something weird happens, managers a lot of times just take that because it's almost like somebody, you know, losing their concentration. They're not thinking.
That's something Bobby Cox is known for. Right after something unusual happens or a pitching change, he'll call something on the first pitch.
Yeah, boom, right now.
Let your guard down just a little bit. The 1-1 to Castro, who's driven in 37 runs. He's got a good fastball, 94 on that baby. Just beyond 9 o'clock here at Nationals Park in our nation's capital. Bob Carpenter, Ray Knight, Debbie Taylor, Masson HD. Top of the 8th inning of a scoreless game. Marquis, a wonderful outing, although he is responsible because of the walk for that runner at second base. He goes with the heater and misses inside. Marlon Berto for 3 tonight. But Chicago's most consistent and dangerous hitter this year.
Kennedy holding Colvin on at second base. I don't like that. I don't like that. I like the shortstop to be a little bit more involved. You've just got too big a hole on the right side. So go ahead and I'd like for you to go run there and then get on out of there, slap this ball the other way, and you can drive a truck through that side over there.
Yeah, and because of that, Dunn's playing about 25 feet off the line.
But you got this whole area in here.
That also may indicate, Ray, that the Nationals want Clippard to bust this guy on his hands pitch after pitch. Not give him anything he can drive the other way.
Yeah, he doesn't need to throw him a breaking ball.
Yeah. 2-2. Let's see if Clippard stays inside. He goes away, and look at the rookie hook that pitch to the left field wall to give the Cubs the lead. He threw that pitch outside, but it was a changeup, and Castro was able to get around it and rock it for the RBI. You leave a changeup up no matter where it is, you're asking for trouble.
Well, it loses its deception. I mean, the ball is right there, way high. You lose the deception. When the ball's down, you think it's a fastball. When it's up, you just see it too well. And you're able to do that. I mean, the ball's on the outside part of the plate. Fooled a little bit because he pulled it so much, but you're going to get the barrel on a ball that's left that high in the strike zone when it's thrown softly.
94 on the fastball, and he gives up a run on an 80-mile-an-hour changeup. Here's Marlon Berto for 3. That closes the book on Marquis, responsible for that run. I mean, nobody's done anything with Clippard's fastball on the hands so far.
Well, you have to make up your mind. Here it is, the changeup laid off and ends up finishing high up in the strike zone. And he is out front. I mean, way out front. But because the ball's up, you know, it's so much easier. It's the closer to your eyes, the closer to the eye level that the ball is, the better you're going to see it. And Clippard he's got 3 out pitches. The fastball elevated, the good slider, and the changeup. But you have to make up your mind which one is going to be your go-to pitch. And I personally never liked the changeup being that pitch with runners in scoring position because you can do so much with it. I mean,
well, and we were talking about late in the game too.
Right.
One pitch makes such a difference.
But he's got a great one, and if he throws it where he wants to, then the hitter is not going to hit it. But he made a mistake and paid for it.
And still nobody getting a run on the heater. This all happened because Marquis walked Tyler Colvin, batting for Ryan Dempster.
I was taught, Bob, and I was drafted as a pitcher shortstop and pitched some in the minor leagues, pitched all my life. But I was taught that if you're throwing your fastball and nobody's hitting it, don't throw them a pitch that can speed up their bat. Just pound a fastball, move it in and out, up and down, go to the breaking ball, but just don't throw a pitch that they can get their bat to if they're not touching your fastball like that. I mean,
they haven't done anything with it. 2 outs. Well, Rob talks about this all the time. The hitter will let you know how you're throwing.
Oh, yeah. You go off the bat barrel. Tom Seaver used to look at third, that fastball up, no chance. Used to look at third and ask me to put my hand out, indicating the hand in front of my body was that the hitter was out front. A hand behind my body meant that the hitter was behind, and if the hitter was behind, he just got closer and closer, tighter and tighter with his fastball because he knew he couldn't get to it. If the hitter is ahead of him, then he just got softer and softer with the breaking ball and moved it more away from him. So it is all about reading the bat barrel, and the hitter will show you that.
Ramos Ramirez 1 for 3 with a base hit. Cubs have out hit the Nats 5-2, lead 1-0.
Larry Shepard, pitching coach for Sparky Anderson all those great years in Cincinnati, always wanted his pitchers, especially late in the game, to elevate fastballs around the letters to young hitters because they're aggressive. They haven't been in the league long enough to learn to lay off of that pitch. He doesn't know Tyler Clippard. So the fastball is the toughest pitch to hit when it's located because you don't have as much time to react.
One and two to Ramirez. That ball isn't coming back. And the Cubs lead 3-0. Since throwing the changeup, Clippard has thrown nothing but fastballs. That was the heater, and Ramirez turned on it and hit it out of here.
And he's not a young hitter. High fastball. He saw nothing but high fastballs. There ain't too many people in the league going to hit that one where it's located, but Ramirez has always been a high ball hitter. And if you throw it up there enough, those guys, that kind of guy will hit it.
Well, that's my point, Ray. Since the changeup, nothing but fastballs. Bird struck out, and Ramirez turns on one, his 20th of the year. Soriano hit his 20th last night. And the Cubs in this series have now out-homered the Nationals 4-0. Well hit, had him done right there. Leadoff walk leads to a lot of damage. And the Cubs, after 7.5, lead by 3. Good. Dempster slightly better. And some key hits for the Cubs. Castro and Ramirez in the 8th. Ryan Dempster raced 7 shutout innings, only 2 hits.
Fastball away to Niger, running hard away, no chance. Fastball right there for Adam Taken. Comes back with breaking ball to Kennedy. Nasty. Kid had great command tonight. Dunn taking on a fastball in. Another fastball almost right down the middle to Roger Bernardina. He has turned into some kind of spine control pitcher with a great fastball, curveball, changeup. Solid performance tonight, boy.
23-year-old right-hander, rookie Andrew Kashner, in his 37th appearance. High ERA. He's given up 41 hits in 37 innings and 26 earned runs. But he is a strikeout pitcher. 30 Ks in those 37 innings. He was a first rounder just 2 years ago. And he's out of a school in Texas that appears to be appearing more and more in Major League media guides in recent years, TCU. Michael Morse on another breaking ball, quickly 0-2. Michael 0 for 2. Fly ball to left, 1 to center. He's 1 for 6 in the series and 10 for his last 67. Left-hander Sean Marshall was in the ball game here last night. And Morse swings and misses. Thought he might have foul tipped it when the catcher dropped it, but that's the 9th Nat to strike out tonight. And a reminder, another step toward the Nationals' future tomorrow evening, 5:45, live coverage on MASN HD of Bryce Harper's press conference from Nationals Park. Johnny Holliday, Debbie Taylor, and yours truly. We'll hear from Mike Rizzo, Jim Riggleman, and Bryce Harper. Hope you can join us at 5:45 tomorrow. Here's Adam Kennedy 0 for 2.
.98.
And Kennedy manages to turn on a pitch that was heading right for the trademark of his bat. He gets one into right field. That'll bring up Will Nieves, followed by Willie Harris as the Nats work their way down to the number 9 spot in the order. Harris, the only left-handed pinch hitter available, and that's not good news for later when, unless the score changes, the Nationals will see Carlos Marmol. Will hit the ball hard last time, lined out to short.
Well, sometimes you only have one shot in the 8th or 9th inning, and it doesn't matter if the 8th or 9th. You have to use your left-handed guy. If you have a runner on first base and one swing of the bat puts you within a run, you know, there's no reason to save him. You never know what the night's going to turn out to be. And so I'm sure Jim will pinch hit Willie with that runner on base. He's getting it up there.
Bob Davidson says that's a balk.
Oh, my gosh.
And here's Kennedy down to second base. And Mike Wade does not come out to object.
Well, let me see what he does here. You have to step. He stops. He didn't step. You have to step. Your left leg has to go toward first base. You can't just sit there and spin it and keep your left leg on the ground. Nobody calls it but Bob, but you do have to make that step. Phil Necro made that move. Watch his left leg. Watch how he comes to the set and his shoulder turns before his left foot actually moves. See that? Can't do that. You have to move that left foot just as you move the left shoulder.
How do you see that in real speed from 70 feet away?
Because you're looking for it. The man looks for it. He's got those X-ray vision, acute something.
They got the runner trapped, but Cashner throws to first to get Nieves. He could have thrown in behind Adam Kennedy, but they're up by 3. He wanted to get the sure out, and he'll face Willie Harris now with 2 down.
Slider, way, just reaching for it. Very protective swing there. Hits the ball off the end of the bat, and easy play for Cashner.
Harris hitting for Clippard. Willie pinch hit last night here in the 8th and flied out. Then he walked in the 9th and one of the runners who scored on the Kennedy double.
Well, we've carried an extra guy in the bullpen pretty much all year long, and that always leaves your bench short. And that's what you have to do when your starters go 5 innings consistently. As many innings as our pitchers have thrown in that bullpen, I don't feel like any of them have been overexposed, as there's enough arms out there to get the work in and get the job done.
That's a pretty solid core of guys that have been out there most of the year. I mean, Brian Bruni early didn't last long because of his control issues. Matt Capps, of course, traded at the July 31st deadline. But if you look at the other guys, once Drew Storn was called up when the Nats were on the road in May, it's been pretty much that nucleus. Nothing doing for the Nats offensively again tonight. Shutout through 8 on only 3 hits.
Sure, you join the party and check out the Potomac Nationals before they head to the playoffs. Go to PotomacNationals.com or call 703-590-2311. And our minor league report features some terrific pitching down in Double-A. Right-handed pitcher Tanner Rourke and right-handed pitcher Ryan Tatusco. The 2 pitchers acquired from Texas in the Christian Guzman trade are both doing extremely well. Rourke is 1-1 with a 2.04 ERA in 3 starts, and Tatusco has gone 1-1 with a 2.70 ERA. So a couple of guys to keep an eye on. Bob, back to you.
Great numbers, Debbie, and it's interesting because sometimes when you make a deal at the trading deadline, to unload a veteran like Guzman, you don't get a whole lot in return. But at least at the AA level, looks like the Nationals have, out of what has never been that much of a pitching-rich Texas organization. Sean Burnett takes over in the ninth. Alfonso Soriano has hit the ball in the air 3 times to Niger Morgan. They're in the ninth at Philadelphia. Astros batting, leading the Phillies 3-2. Great changeup by Sean. Pittsburgh giving St. Louis another headache tonight. 5-1. They're about to win that series, and St. Louis headed here for tomorrow evening. Felipe Lopez hit a home run for the Cardinals. And the Marlins leading at New York 5-3 eighth inning. As we told you earlier, the Braves led 10-1 in the third inning at Coors Field and lost it in regulation 12-10 this afternoon. There's trouble brewing, Ray, for some right-handed batters like Desmond and Zimmerman with that slider of Marmol warming up for the bottom of the ninth.
It's exactly the kind of guy I didn't want to see late.
Is that when they said your heart was in it, but the rest of you wasn't?
Yeah.
Trying to hang in against that breaking ball.
Yeah, I didn't care how hard they threw, but that snake gave me a little bit of trouble when they throw it that hard.
He's got a hard slider, and he'll throw it 8 times in a row. Soriano reaching on a 2-2 to stay alive.
Man, this guy's pitched great, hasn't he? He's got that fastball up to 92. He was getting right-handers out so easily, not getting left-handers out when he was called upon. And really for the last 6-7 weeks, ever since the All-Star break, he couldn't be any better.
Left-handers 284, right-handers 160.
Yeah, I remember when that left-handers was over 330 though.
And Sean isn't your typical left-hander because he'll throw the fastball. A lot of lefties, 2 left-handed batters will throw the curveball to get ahead, and he'll just buzz you with 90 and take it from there. Let's see what he does against the right-hander here. On a pitch away, Soriano fouls it.
I don't know if people know or if they've forgotten, but Sean Burnett was a #1 pitching prospect for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And he threw the ball 95 miles an hour, great breaking ball, hurt his arm, just kind of had to remake himself. And
Soriano hits one a mile, and the Cubs lead 4-0. That's his 21st of the year and his second in this series. This is the 5th place club in the Central. They're about to sweep the Nationals here in Washington.
Well, you go 3-2, and he's going to be hacking. And you throw the ball right down the middle, and he's going to hit it hard. Look at the way he finishes. I mean, he almost falls down swinging at that ball.
This is interesting, Ray. If they win tonight, the Cubs will have swept the last 7 games in this ballpark against the Nats.
I know they played well here.
The 4-game sweep right out of the All-Star break last year. Jim Riggleman's first 4 games. This can't sit well with him. He used to be with the Cubs. And Soriano put a charge into this baby.
Yeah, watch how he finishes. I mean, he look at this. He finishes back on that back leg, and call that back legging it as you just get that thing started with that left leg and create some serious bat speed.
Riggleman trying to keep this game close, at least if you feel 4-0 is close. And he'll bring in a right-hander against Giovanni Soto. Soriano is homered, top of the ninth, 4-0 Cubs. although Carlos Marmol a few minutes ago was still warming up. Bottom line, whatever happens in the bottom of the ninth inning, Jason Marquis took a significant step for this pitching staff tonight.
One giant leap, buddy. Threw the ball exceptionally well. Very good pitch count. Slider was crisp. Fastball he was able to locate up and ran it in, which he hasn't done, but he also had that good sinker and got a bunch of ground balls on the night. Just a great job, really good job, and just a positive thing. You just got to start building things positively, and that is a positive start.
Drew Storen now in the ninth with one out facing Giovanni Soto. Xavier Nady on deck to hit for Cashner. And for Drew Storen of the Nats, 39th appearance, 40 innings, 30 hits. Opponents hitting only .221 against him. And for a rookie, a great ERA of 2.48. We forget he's only been in the big leagues for 3 months. And he overmatches Soto on a slider away to strike him out. 2 down. Well, Ray, it's not going to get any easier tomorrow night. Chris Carpenter is 14-4. He's 6-1 career against the Nationals in 11 starts with a 3.80 ERA. And he'll throw that curveball of his inside on the hands of Morgan, Dunn, Bernardina, and Kennedy if those left-handers are all in the lineup tomorrow night.
Yeah,
he's devastating.
The offense has to figure out something here to get going. They're just dead in the water right now. And, you have bursts like last night in the last inning, but you're just not putting together anything. Nothing consistently. You're not getting 2 or 3 hits in a row. So they just, whatever we're doing, I don't know if it's the dog days, if they're tired, but there's just nothing coming out of that Nationals dugout that's doing anything.
Drew Storen scoreless 8th inning on Monday night with a strikeout. And the count 0-2. Top of the order due up for the Nationals. Bottom 9. And a breaking ball hit into right. Michael Morse stalking it. And Storen retires his 2. But the Cubs had a run. Nyjer Morgan is first. Shortstop Ian Desmond. And then Mr. Clutch, Ryan Zimmerman.
Board, that is not a pretty sight. 4-0 as the Cubs lead the Nationals. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Johnny Holiday along with Phil Wood will be with you in Nats Extra postgame coming up. Last night, down by 4, ninth inning. Tonight, Phil, same scenario.
Down by 4. No offense tonight so far,
No.
Johnny. Just 3 hits, but on the plus side, Jason Marquis looks like he's the pitcher they thought they were getting last winter.
How you got to get these bats on track for this ball club?
Shake up the lineup. Pull them out of a hat.
All right, well, let's see what Bob and Ray can do upstairs in this bottom of the ninth inning.
Well, Johnny, he couldn't help you out there. I doubt if he can help me up here.
Oh,
we'll see.
You're cold. You're cold, man. You're cold.
Carlos Marmol, the primary reason for that, Ray, not you and your karma. This guy is difficult to hit. 23rd save of the year last night. And the Nats will have the top of the order due up in the ninth. Down by 4. And in this series, the Nationals have been outscored 18-5. With 4 of those runs coming last night, and 3 of them right before the final buzzer, as it were. Nigel Morgan in this series, 1 for 11.
Well, everybody's cold at one time. I mean, Zim has hit the ball hard over the last 4 days. But, I mean, you can't pick anybody else in the lineup that really has. Kennedy has gotten his hits, but Desi's struggling. Morris hasn't done anything. Morgan, not singling them all out, but just haven't done anything collectively.
Morgan hits one to left. Easy catch. Soriano near the line. 4th drive of the game, a 0-0 game until a changeup found its way to Starlin Castro.
Yeah, and runner on second base, changeup up, and the kid is showing that he's for real as he rips the ball down the left field line to score the 1 run. He got on with a walk as Quaddy pinch hit for Dempster, who only had 80-something pitches after 7 innings, and it worked out well for him.
Looks like the Astros have beaten the Phillies again, 3-2 up north. And here, bottom 9, 1 out. And the hitter Ian Desmond 0 for 2 with a walk. Nationals have played so well at home this year, but about to be swept for the second time in the last 3 series here. Florida did it 2 weeks ago. The Nats beat Arizona 2 out of 3. And the Cubs, very tough in this series.
You can't try to pull this guy. I've noticed last night, he throws hard, but he drops down. The slider's going to go away from you. You have to create an angle with your body and make up your mind that you're going to hit him to right field. Everything's basically away. See, pulling the breaking ball that's away from him.
Castro throws out Desmond.
You got to think as a hitter. Not too much. You can't overthink it, but you got to have a game plan. And a guy like this, you're just not going to pull him. With that slider going away from you as hard as it does, creating an angle, it's like a swinging door. And if you're a hitter and you turn away from that ball and you push, it's just like pushing a door away from you. It just gets farther and farther away from you.
Ryan Zimmerman with the bases empty. Washington about to be shut out for the 3rd time in a week. Another game on Monday, just 1 run. 1 run until one of the final at-bats last night.
That pitch right there, his slider's so quick that even when he makes a mistake with it on the inside part of the plate, hitters give up on it. But right there, that's a pitch that's a ball. But the pitch prior to that, is a pitch that you can hammer. This pitch right here, though, just stays inside.
Yeah, he'll front door you with that thing, too.
I just think he throws it. There you go.
Zimmerman with a flare. Ryan has his first hit tonight and his 3rd of the series. That'll bring up Adam Dunn with 2 outs.
But you have to take him up the middle, right field. I cannot recall in the time that I've seen this kid pitch anybody drilling the ball down the left field line. Nice angle, hits the ball a little bit on the end of the bat, breaks his bat, but still he's not trying to pull the ball. You didn't see his left shoulder pull off the ball or his belt buckle go toward shortstop or third. His belt buckle started right back toward the second baseman, and he kept that bat flat. Was able to get enough of the ball to dump it in the center.
Zimmerman running on the pitch, returns to first.
I haven't seen these guys play this. Not two places. Normally you see the second baseman playing out there, but the shortstop.
They're both out there, huh?
They're both out there. Adam beat one out the other night up the middle.
Adam Dunn hits one to right. It is carrying to the scoreboard, and the game is over on the catch by Fukudome. 2 hours and 31 minutes for the Cubs to shut out the Nats 4-0, sweep the series, and go on to Cincinnati playing pretty good baseball. Back in a moment.